My ice pack a little.
Mhm.
All right, I'm ready to go.
All right.
Welcome back to the Fanatics. Zach, how you doing? How was your vacation?
Good. It was pretty fun. Fun in the sun. Still a little, still got the sea legs a little bit. That's a lasting thing, I guess.
Yeah, it's gonna. That's why we weren't recording because Zach didn't record from a boat. He doesn't have the commitment that I would have had.
That would have been tough to do, man. That Wi Fi was spotty.
I believe it.
I'd be like
Man,
in my bed and like sit in the front of my bed and I'd get Wi Fi, but as soon as I laid down, no Wi Fi. Like, this is great.
yeah, you were randomly sporadically messaging. It was like
Hmm.
the most random times.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Man, there's a lot to talk about. We missed a whole week, so as you probably have noticed, to start off, Madison isn't here again. I promise you, we didn't let her go. Um, she was in the hospital today. She was not feeling well, and we wish her the best of luck in her condition. She's been dealing with it for a few days, so Zach's just sitting there going, she's not even really in the hospital. She's just chilling.
Oh, God. God. What kind of human being do you think I am?
So, first thing I want to talk about is Christopher Sanchez. Um, you were at the game today, so I mean, you can give a
Hmm.
little insight on that before you left because it was hot as hell. But
Yeah.
yeah, you can give us a little insight on that. But I mean, the extension I think is arguably a win-win situation. Um,
Hmm.
we don't have to worry. Locking down the young lefties should be a priority for the rotation. So, what do you think?
Yeah, I didn't really see the extension coming like beginning of the season. I thought maybe if anything they would try and maybe go after like Ranger to lock him up if he was pitching
Mhm.
well like he is. But I mean, today it was the first time I ever got to see Sanchez pitch in person, and it was awesome. I mean, he was in control the whole game. He had the crowd behind him. It was pretty cool to see. And I stayed for the whole time the whole time he was in. I left right after they pulled him. But it was really cool to watch him pitch and see him control the game. I like what he's doing, and I think he kind of earned that extension. It was a surprise to me though.
Yeah, I definitely didn't see it coming before the season started, but once the season
Mhm.
started going, I mean, it was pretty clear that you need to keep him somewhat around in the organization. I didn't
Mhm.
expect an extension though. This team is just built different when it comes to pitching. So Sanchez might be in the fourth spot on the rotation, but in any other team, he might be a two, and it's they're pitching fantastic, and Sanchez is a big reason for it. So
Mhm.
being able, we've had this talk before the season started about how we needed pitching. Do we feel comfortable going into the season with Sanchez and Walker,
Mhm.
which we'll get
Yeah.
to? But did we feel
I'll,
comfortable? And I think most of us didn't feel totally comfortable with Sanchez.
I mean, I did. In the beginning, I kind of liked what he was doing, but like, I thought Walker was always the biggest question mark. And to have four guys that are pitching ace level, it's not a bad problem to have your fifth guy that you don't trust every so often.
Yeah, but it's just with the. We'll go to that. I mean, Walker's going to miss some starts, thankfully,
Hmm.
because of a hot spot. Um, but in
I'm not sure
reality, I
what
think
that is.
it's like a blister.
Oh,
It's like a baseball terminology for a blister.
okay.
Um, in reality, I think it's just because he sucks. Uh,
Kind of like
so
you think they're like a wake up call to him or something like.
I think, yeah, I think this is one of those. They gave him his shot to come back and pitch well. It's not like we kept in Turnbull while he was pitching great, which we should have never taken him away from.
Mhm.
We threw Walker in there, and this is what we got back. We had him win a few games because of run production, and everything else is he can go 3 innings,
Maybe.
maybe 3 innings, and he's had some games when I'm watching it. Like that one I told you when I messaged you, I was like, this is probably Walker's best first inning of his career. And
Yeah.
that was weeks ago now. But he came out,
Literally.
he looked really well. But then the third, fourth inning comes around, and it's over.
Yep.
And that's a starter. You can't have your starter only going 3 innings.
Yeah, I'm just
So
looking up his stats right now, and they're pretty funny.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
5.6 ERA in 53 innings pitched,
that's
compared to,
terrible.
yeah, he's given up 58 hits,
You know,
33 earned runs.
Turnbull probably had similar. Look at Turnbull's stats compared to Walker's, like because they're probably close to playing
Hold
about the
up.
same amount
So
of games. But
yeah, Turnbull in 51 and one third innings has given up 36 hits, 15 earned runs, only 5 home runs compared to 12, 18 walks compared to 21, has 13 more strikeouts compared to him, and a 2.63 ERA. So almost 3 points lower ERA in a little bit less innings.
and his ERA took a little bit of a hit when he moved to the pen too, because when he was
Hmm.
in the starting rotation, he was pitching almost ace level. It felt like we were unstoppable every game.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean, enough is enough, and I think the organization um, might finally be on the same page. They gave him his
Hmm.
chance. I mean, that's all you can do.
Yeah.
I mean,
Not much else you can do.
you paid this guy a lot of money, and this is what he gave you back in return. And what you got was him bitching about not pitching in the playoffs.
Hmm.
What you got was mediocre starts. And this year, you have a guy that you're lucky hits 91 on the gun and has control to even. So
Yeah.
it's not worth it. And
Hmm.
it's Turnbull. Turnbull's not a long term solution, but he's a perfect five.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
he
not like
hasn't
he's.
pitched this much in a while, so that's
Yeah.
the one concern.
And if you really need to, maybe you can make a trade. I have something in my eye. Maybe you can make a trade at the deadline, but you don't really need to worry about starting pitching. So that's wonderful. I'm happy I just did that on camera. You don't need to worry about starting pitching. So I just don't think it's something that you need to rush to. Just
Yeah.
let Turnbull go.
See what he can
I
do.
mean, I said you have 3 Cy Young candidates on this team. You have a number
Legitimate 3.
two. Whoever's in that 5 hole is fine, as long as it's not Taiwan Walker. So that's that's what I think. So I mean, Turnbull, he was pitching really well. At one point, I think we even talked about how he might be one of the best pitchers on the team to start the season early.
Yeah, we did. We had that conversation because he was pitching very, very well.
So you gotta give it to him. So let him come back out there and win us some games. I mean, we got a
Hmm.
pretty easy schedule coming up.
Yeah, what is the
Uh,
schedule coming up? I didn't look at it.
you got Detroit and then you got Miami.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, just let Turnbull go because he's going to pitch good against those teams. I don't know if he gets a start in the. I'm pretty sure he'll start in one of the Detroit games.
I think so.
So
And he used to play for Detroit, I believe, right?
yeah, no hitter, right? With Detroit,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Nola's going tomorrow, but that's all I know. I don't. I think Walker usually falls in sometime after that. So
I should have wore my NOLA shirt. Nowhere tomorrow.
yeah, Broad Street Creations.
Hmm.
Thank you. We
Awesome shirt.
appreciate
Love it.
you.
Very comfortable.
Yes, and I like it because I dried it already, and it didn't like shrink
Hmm.
like most of my shirts do.
Hmm.
So I'm very comfortable. So I thank you for the hottest player on the Phillies roster right now. But
My girlfriend thought hers was mine was a pajama shirt for hers, but nope,
it's not a pajama shirt.
nope.
These are ours. Madison was in love with her shirt. So
Yeah, I was
um,
surprised that's the one that showed up.
I wanted to like be funny with it because we always argue about Nola. So I was like,
Mhm.
"What's a solid approach to go about this?" I keep getting sweat in my eye, and I was like, "We're gonna get Zach Nola because it's just funny." So
That's funny.
I originally had it set as you getting. I can't remember. I know I was originally getting Marshy, but I was like,
Okay.
nah. And then as soon as I found out that she could do everybody, Madison was getting JT regardless. Because originally I only saw the um, initial list, and I was like, that's all she can do. I mean, I get to see what I can do with that and try. That's why when I asked you guys what players did you want,
I
and
forget that whole
she
conversation.
said Alec Boehm, you said Ranger.
Oh,
You said Ranger. I
okay. Now
probably
I
should have just
remember.
got
Yeah.
you Ranger,
No, whatever.
but
I'm happy. Thank you. The
I mean,
Nola shirt
a free shirt is
is
a free
awesome.
shirt. So,
Yeah, I almost got a Nola jersey over the when I bought my jersey
oh yeah,
recently. Almost did it,
I,
but then I was like, nah,
this is
maybe another time.
this is gonna come surprising to you. A few years ago, I was between a Reese Hoskins jersey and a Nola jersey. I bought
And
the
you
Reese
bought the
Hoskins
Hoskins,
jersey.
but
Yeah,
he's not here
but
anymore.
I should have bought the Nola jersey. At least I would have had a
He'll be
player on
here.
his
You
team.
have time. He'll be here for a while.
Yeah, I'm not gonna buy a Nola jersey. I'll buy a Christopher Sanchez jersey.
What if he is the World Series MVP and wins the Cy Young this
Then I
year?
will buy an Aaron Nola jersey. We
Okay,
can put that
so
down.
we're
If Aaron
okay.
Nola wins one of those awards, just one of them,
Okay,
I will buy
okay,
an
that's
Aaron Nola.
reasonable. Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Hmm.
So, talking about guys who could win MVPs at some point in their
Hmm.
career, Trey Turner returned from injury, didn't do any rehabs, and he's still playing like he was never gone.
Hmm.
I know you haven't really seen that much of it. You kind of just jump back into it, but you probably can see a little that he's still being Trey. So
Yeah, yeah. He's moving around a little better too. I got
yeah,
to see
he
him
looks a
today
lot better.
play. That was pretty cool. But yeah, he's starting to get back to that 100% running level. Hasn't been stealing too many bases just yet, but that'll come.
Yeah, no rush. Let's not force him. But yeah, I mean,
Hmm.
to come back, not even doing any rehab starts, and just being able to come back with your swing being perfect and everything still being the same, can't ask for any more than that. So I mean, I'm super happy, especially now because Sosa ended up getting hurt, and now he's gonna miss some
Yeah.
time. So
Hmm.
it's like I guess we'll just flip flop and back to Trey. But
Yeah, his batting average is still 338, but
yeah,
I guess he doesn't
he's
qualify for the team lead, right? Because of
no, he
being out.
wouldn't. No, he wouldn't.
Right. Because he's only had
Holmes the
38
team lead,
games.
right?
Yeah, 304. Yep. And he's team lead in RBIs, 61.
And doubles.
Look, how about Kyle Schwarber batting 254?
I told you it was gonna happen.
That you did. Remember, you said over 250. What was? Didn't you say you would do something too?
I probably did. I'll have to look back.
Yeah, I think you did. Because either it's about him or Rojas. I don't know.
That was a
But I did think you said something about 250. Your a bold
Max was
prediction, I
on
think it
there.
was. Yeah, it was a bold
Yeah, it was my
prediction, I
bold
think.
prediction. I said that Schwarber was
Yeah.
250. Um,
Hmm.
and I said that because if you look at his career numbers, you can see that other than his time with the Phillies, he's been around that. Um, so it made sense, and he's slimmed down, as we all know. And yeah,
Yeah.
250. His home runs are down a little though.
Yeah, what is it? What does he have? 17. Oops. He's second on the
Oh, his
team.
home he's he's second on the team. His home runs are down a
He's
little.
probably like top five in the NL.
Right, but I
Harper's on
mean,
pace for like 37 or 38 home runs this year and 100
Harper's on
runs
pace for
batted in and 100 runs himself or something.
Harper's on pace for another MVP, which is my
And a
next
gold
question.
glove.
And a
Hmm.
Gold Glove. This right now is at least to start a season because when Harper won his last his MVP with us, he didn't have a great start to the season. He came back and
Hmm.
really dominated. But
Hmm.
this is the best start of the season Harper I think we've ever had on this team.
Hmm.
He looks fantastic, and
Yeah.
um, and you can't. There's, I know this is a lot of people will argue with me, and other than Philadelphia sports media, but when Bryce Harper is 100%, there's very few people that are better than Bryce Harper. So,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that we are, yeah, we had Reese at first, but we never had a Gold Glove caliber first baseman in a
Mm-hmm.
really long time,
Right.
and now we have
When
that.
was
He's
when
gonna
was the
get it.
last one?
I mean, that's a great question. I'll try to look real quick. I know it's not Ryan Howard. Uh,
No.
last Philly to win Gold
First base
Glove at
at first.
first. I know how to
I think
type.
it's been a while. I think it's been a while.
Bill White,
Who?
1966.
I was about to say sometime in the '60s. I bet.
Yep,
I think
Bill
I saw
White,
that somewhere actually.
1966.
That's funny. But yeah, I mean, he's playing very, very good right now. Bryce Harper is. Um, there's not much that's stopping him. He's playing at a high level, and I mean, look at his All Star votes too. He's like
Yeah,
second behind Aaron Judge in All Star votes.
and
I mean, Aaron
he's
Judge
not.
is on a different
He's
level, but
and he's not using performing enhancing drugs like everything. I'm
Nick
sticking to
had
it.
suspicions.
I'm sticking to it. I'm not dropping it. I'm on to something. If he, I have a whole nother argument about steroids that I'll probably save for a different podcast. I'll have to make
Special
it
podcast.
one of our special pods when I go on about it and I add because I was I'll save it. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save
All right, all right.
it.
Oh man.
But there's a chance that the Phillies walk away with the MVP and the Cy Young because
Mhm.
we just talked about it. We have three Cy Young candidates in the Cy Young race with Ranger, Wheeler, and Nola.
How you hate to say that, don't you?
I don't hate to say it.
I know.
I just want the way he's pitched lately. I don't have that many issues with,
Yeah.
especially when his and I will say when his off speed stuff is working, which sometimes it isn't. That's when I'm
Mhm.
frustrated with Nola. When
When his
because
curveball
then he
is curving and not hanging,
yeah
it's a
because
good
his
sign.
curveball is the best curveball in baseball
Mhm.
when it's working. Um,
Yeah.
but when it's not, I can't. I just can't stand him. And I know it's such a little thing to hate somebody
But
for.
he has done a really good job of when it isn't working, going to another pitch that is working and pitching well. You
And it's
know,
usually just a
placing
bad inning or two, and then he
right.
adjusts. But and he still, even in the games that he gives up runs, he still gets those innings that
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
talked
He's
about
still
being
going deep.
super important. So,
Hmm.
and that makes it even more important when you have two other top-notch guys in the rotation too, because that means you know that you have three guys that are going to get
Hmm.
you deep in the game. And I mean, I don't care which one wins it. I do think it's going to be Ranger if there's going to be a Cy Young winner out of those. But I mean,
I don't know. I feel like they might give it to Wheeler over anybody out of them.
I
I
think they
don't know.
would
It
just because of
depends. It's still a long
age.
season. I don't
Still
even
give the
know.
old man the Cy Young. Man. So yeah, I mean, Nola should have won the Cy Young a few years ago. What was it, 2019
Oh, he had a
or
really good year. I think
2018? It was one of
it was
them.
one of those 2 years. He
Yeah,
had a
and
really, really good.
I was shocked that he didn't win it that year. Um,
Mhm.
but we'll see what happens. It's it's June 23rd. We're talking about MVPs and Cy Youngs, but that's just because we got to have fun on here. So,
Yep, yep. That's what we do.
I mean, if I just sat here talking about how it's June 23rd and Ranger can completely shut down and suck for the rest of the year, which isn't going to happen.
No.
But I have to be got to be realistic sometimes. But I don't like to be so. speaking of pitchers struggling, you missed some of this. It was earlier on when JT got hurt. Um, the consistency would it showed that Stubbs doesn't have a lot of work with some of the starting pitchers. Um, but then Raphael came in and he was fantastic. So I mean, it was a little confusing, but the starting pitching was struggling a little bit. But I feel like they're starting to catch up now. But what I really want to talk about is what backup catcher do we keep when JT comes back?
Does Marshawn have options left? I didn't check on that.
That's a good
I
question.
believe so. He's younger because I think
Yeah,
if
he's
he has
really young.
options, they're gonna keep Stubbs. But it does bring into question if he does have options and they send him down and keep Stubbs, if they're gonna re-sign Stubbs at the end of this year, right? I think Stubbs is a free agent at the end of this year.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. My only my only complaint, which I understand what you're saying, Marshawn's only what 25 years old,
Yeah, I'd
but
say he's like 25, 26.
but he's hitting
Mm-hmm.
and
He is definitely a
Stubbs
better hitter. It looks like.
and I made that case when he got called up. I had somebody angry with me. I actually ended up blocking him because he pissed me off.
Is he a switch hitter too?
I don't think so.
Or is he? No, I don't remember. For some reason, I thought he was a switch
No,
hitter.
yeah, he is. He's switched it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy was telling me how I was wrong, but I blocked him instead. I didn't feel like arguing. On the Fanatic, on the Facebook page, we are a positive Phillies page. We do not argue.
Sometimes we do that on here. That's what this is for.
But this
But it
guy's
does
gonna
look
come
like
back.
Marshawn. Yeah, he's gonna comment on the
Yeah.
YouTube. Uh, but it does look like Marshawn's a better catcher overall too. I mean, defensively, it seems like that too. As much as I love Stubbs.
I love Stubbs for a personality, not for a baseball player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, and I think if it was me, you obviously want the young guy to get the starting reps in AAA at the when JT comes back. So
Mm-hmm.
as much as I much rather not have Stubbs be the backup, he's more than likely going to be. Um, but
Does Stubbs have
because
options? I don't know.
if Stubbs has options, then you
That's what I
have.
don't know. Who?
I don't.
Yeah, if Stubbs has options and he has options too, then you have a little bit more of a dilemma. At that point, I'd probably have to take the better overall player to ride the season out. Me,
Yeah,
but at the same time, they might not mess up the vibes because Stubbs has been there since we've started these runs.
yeah, to keep the team chemistry going.
Chief Five Officer.
But some people, me included, make the argument that you need a better backup catcher, and if you don't have to trade for this backup catcher, if you don't need to sign a veteran or whatever, he's just in your organization already.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to. I mean,
Well, the other
he's
thing
literally.
too is it's hard because when JT comes back, how healthy is he going to be, and how when will he be 100%?
That's
Because if
another
he's
question.
only if Stubbs is only catching once a week, then I don't really see an issue with if they keep Stubbs. But if it's
Well,
he's
yeah,
catching
we've
two
done it
times
for
a week, three
years.
times a week,
Yeah, if JT isn't. See, that's what I've been kind of questioning too. Is do we expect JT not to come back fully healthy? Because Schwarber played left field the other day,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm just. So that to me, it makes me question. Hey, does that mean that we're expecting JT not to come back 100% right away? Is it going to be
Well, he's
him?
expecting to come back before the All Star break. He said, I guess, but I'd like to see him stay till after, as long as we're
He can.
playing this good.
Yeah, as long as we're still playing well. Which I mean, the All Star breaks in a couple weeks,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I mean, I don't
When
even know
is the
what
All
day
Star
it is.
break? Isn't it like July What is it? MLB. When
July
is the All
16th.
Star? Yeah, I was almost there.
Well,
Almost
Friday,
there.
July 12th is when it starts. You got the
Rising stars and
everything.
stuff like that.
Yeah,
When's the home
home
run
run
derby?
derby.
Who's in it?
I don't think we have any names for it yet, do we?
Yeah, I don't think they announced that stuff yet.
Yeah, they got to start doing that.
I think that's going to be soon because they're doing the All Star voting, so I'm sure that stuff's going to be coming out.
Yeah, I want Harper in it.
I know that'd be cool. Harper and Schwarber. That
Yeah,
would be
when he
cool.
won, I rewatched the one he won when he was on the
Hmm.
Nationals like regularly on
Yeah.
YouTube because it's like my favorite
Hmm.
video just to click on just to watch Harper hit bombs.
Hmm.
So,
That was pretty
uh,
cool.
yeah,
I've
with his
watched that a
dad
bunch.
pitching to him.
Hmm.
Yeah. So we're talking about guys playing every day, and there's one guy who definitely doesn't play every day, but the other guy does kind of once in a while, and that's Brandon Marsh and Bryson Stott. They're not playing against lefties pitchers, and
Hmm.
does that have an impact on the team? Are we at this point where it's causing issues, or
I mean, from what I've seen throughout the season with it, no, I can't speak for the last week because I didn't really see what happened then. But it looks like when they're out, I mean, they have other guys that are stepping up, like Sosa was. Even Whit Merrifield has had some timely hits lately, in a
yeah?
couple spots that I saw. So I mean, I think overall it does kind of hurt, and I think it hurts more the players than the team because they need those at bats against those left-hand pitchers because those are the tough ones. When you get a good lefty, you're supposed to keep that good lefty, and they're going to be seeing a lot of them as soon when they get into the postseason because that's bound to happen at this point. But I think it hurts the players more than the team because the team just kind of picks it up.
And I I have more. I think there's more evidence of Stott struggling versus lefties than Marsh. So that's
Hmm.
why I always kind of found it weird that Marsh is the one who's always guaranteed to sit. Um,
Well, now pretty much they're going to. I think they're going to keep him in a little bit more against lefties with sending Rojas down because they need the offensive production. I mean, Pache's been playing pretty good, but not to the level that we would like for to sit Marsh.
I mean, I think it's hard to because as a fan, right, you want to see your best players and your favorite players going every game, and we turn on the game. I mean, we make lineups every day. When we get the lineup, we expect to see the
Mm-hmm.
best players 1 through 9 in the game, and then you go
Yep.
and you look and you go, okay, so Pache's playing left today. Marsh isn't playing. I mean, Witt's
And
playing left, and
it's not like
Pache's
these guys
playing.
are over 30 and need a day off. They really don't.
Yeah, that's and
It should be
they're
taking them out of the lineup because you have to and give them a day off. You know what I mean? Take them off
and
their feet.
they're both young guys, and you're taking away
Hmm.
lefty reps from them.
And my thing is they sit them and then they'll put them in the seventh or eighth inning to pinch hit for and play for an inning or two to try and win when they're losing.
And then
When you could have just
then
had
the
them in the
lefty
whole
will come
game.
in, and then they'll get a hit.
Right. Yeah, not even that. It's like they pinch hit and then the pitcher changes and then it's a lefty anyway.
Right,
And it's a reliever that's a lefty, so it's probably, just as tough. So,
throwing throwing faster pitches too, like
yeah, 100
95.
miles an hour. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
So, I don't know.
as for the team, I don't think it's shown any effect on them. They're going to win regardless. It seems like, but for the players, like you said, um, you're messing up the chance for Marsh to ever be able to hit a lefty and Stop to ever be able to hit a lefty if they're not playing versus lefties. So
Hmm.
hopefully that
And they have
changes
proved that
soon.
they can. They can hit lefties. They have proved that they can. They just haven't had enough reps against them.
Well, that's Topper's decision too. He's obsessed with
Yeah.
the idea of matching,
Hmm.
mismatching, and trying to be a strategist, even though he's really not. But
I just think that Marsh and Stott are too valuable to take out of a lineup, even just defensively, if that's how you want to look at it.
and you're not really showing trust in your players, which
I mean,
hurts.
look
I
at
feel like
look at the play that Marsh made today when I was walking into the stadium. I was like, "What the hell
right.
happened?"
You're like, what happened?
Yeah, and then I had to look at it. When I walked in, I see it on the scoreboard, and I'm like, "Oh, cool! That's pretty cool." The last two times I walked into a game, Marsh has done something. Against the White Sox, he hit a home run when I was walking to my seat. When I was walking to my seat this time, he made a leaping catch against the wall. So, kudos,
March is
Brandon
just there
Marsh. You're
to
the man.
entertain you.
What a dog!
So yeah, I mean, you gotta let the young guys play. That's what this team is
Mhm.
based off of. We preach about daycare, but yet we don't let the daycare play versus lefties. So
Right.
whatever. Um, Speaking of, I'm not going to even include them into the daycare. I'm sorry. I know some people do. I'm not going to. Rojas got set down to make room for Trey. Rojas is actually playing really well down in AAA. Might be his
Yeah.
more his level of
But
baseball.
we'll see him back this year, I think,
Yeah, he'll be
at some
back this
point.
year for mostly definitely for playoffs too, just to have his
I
speed
think
on the
this was a
mound.
little. I think this was a little overdue, though. I think they could have done it, but if they did it in the beginning of the season, it might have been a little bit more deflating for him.
Yeah, I think they let him go in. They see that he started playing better
Hmm.
even
It definitely
before.
wasn't
It's
that
not.
like you're not playing good. It was just we need you to go work on a couple things consistently every day, not
Yeah,
at a
because
big
he's
league in the bright lights, that kind of thing.
yeah. Go play Rochester and get better.
Yeah. Hmm.
So, um, but I feel like to me, Rojas getting sent down. I know he'll probably be back up at some point. But Rojas getting sent down to me means his team wants to trade for an outfielder,
Hmm.
and
Or is at least very open to it.
we're definitely open to the idea of it. And
Hmm.
there's a few names out there, and I just feel like the trade with the White Sox is going to happen soon. Um,
I don't know. I haven't gotten too much into the trade mill rumors and stuff, but I saw Kyle Tucker circulating again today, but that could have been phony stuff.
my only issue with the Tucker thing is where does he play? Do we just move? Cassidy plays left. You put Tucker in right, and then
Or
Marsh
you
in
put
center.
Tucker in left.
Yeah, either way, I guess it's fine, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I'd much rather have
because
Kyle Tucker, but
left
I'm
has been like a kind of a revolving door with a bunch of people playing in left this year. So
yeah. So at least you put some stability in there.
mhm.
But
You
are
have
the
to give up a
Astros are
lot.
going to?
I don't know.
I don't think the Astros are going to trade with
I don't know.
us.
That's the other thing. I don't know. I don't even know about that. I just don't think they're going to trade Kyle Tucker.
That's like they have a guy they can. That's their Astros are having us not an Astro like season, but if they somehow sneak
Hmm.
in the playoffs, are you going to want to play the Astros in the playoffs? I wouldn't.
Nope.
So
No, not really. Not really.
I mean, so you can say the same thing for like the Rangers who've been struggling too. I mean, they haven't been playing at their same level, but they're champs for a reason, and they're starting to pick up lately. They're gonna if you don't want to play these teams if they sneak in. So
Yeah.
and it's
Just
the Astros aren't rebuilding.
yeah. No.
So
They
I
got the
mean,
injury bug and just not playing well.
yeah, and I mean, um, Rangers got a little better today too with Swart,
Hmm.
Max coming back. Um,
Mad Mad Max.
Max coming back, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've been talking about a trade for an outfielder all year. Is it going to happen? I don't know. I don't hate Pache either. I even started
There's
kind of
really only two. There's only two outfielders that I really want, and if we trade for anybody else, I kind of really don't care and hope we don't give up anything crazy for. But
yeah.
I would definitely trade with the White Sox for Roberts, and I would definitely look into the Kyle Tucker thing if that's real. Those are the only two I would care about. Anything else is just like, I think we could be fine with what we have.
I think it should is getting somebody to shut down the ninth more of a priority than getting an outfielder to play, or are we
I don't
okay
think
there
so.
because we have like 8 closers on the team. It's just which one's going to
Mhm.
finish the game.
Yeah, I think at this point it's more about the outfield because I think the bullpen they're all starting to pitch pretty well. and lower their
Yeah,
ERAs and settle in. And I mean, Matt Strom gave up his first run since like opening day the other day.
yeah.
So I think we're fine in the bullpen. Maybe just another arm for length, if especially if Walker is not going to be back in the rotation and we have Turnbull there. I mean, I don't think we're going to put Walker in the bullpen. I think we're going to trade him at that point. Just get some whatever for him, some pieces for the farm. Maybe that
I
helps replenish what we give up for a trade for Roberts or Kyle Tucker.
I was thinking we could trade Walker for a semi-broken microwave.
So does it get lukewarm?
It's like one of those ones
You
that
just got to cook it
it's like
longer
it's not even a microwave. It's more like an easy bake oven.
with the ding.
Like I don't. It's not a real home appliance. It's a children's toy. But I think it would be a fair trade.
Oh man.
Or yeah, I mean, you can make a lot of stuff with the easy bake ovens. I mean, the food doesn't taste that great. You can make pizzas. You can make little cupcakes.
Yeah, there we go.
That could be
Well,
beneficial to our team.
that could be beneficial to this show.
If we were all in the same area, I would
We
have
have
a
an
little
easy
easy
bake.
bake oven in the
Perfect.
thing, but we don't. I actually have one in my daughter's room, but
Send
we're
that to Madison for the future headquarters of the
future
Fanatics.
Fanatics
Easy
headquarters.
bake
Yes,
oven
easy bake oven.
in every office.
Yes. So
Oh,
right now we're going to do the part of the show where we see if Madison actually listens to the full podcast. So
okay.
Madison, where's our bracelets? All right.
Oh,
Anyway,
just gonna throw that one in there.
uh, yeah, I think that about wraps it up for this week. We definitely will be back next week. Not so sure about the week following. Um, I'm up in the air about what I want to do. Um, so I'm getting a procedure done on July 5th. That is like it's called a spinal stimulator trial. They basically are going to try to turn me into a robot, and they're going to put
Yep.
these wires on my back,
And they're gonna give me
and
the
I'll have
controller.
this little button. Everybody I know keeps talking about them getting the button. Like, and
Stealing
it's
the
not.
button.
Yeah, everyone wants to just. Do you guys know that if you press the button at the wrong time, you're causing pain? I know you probably don't care, but like, we're hurting me then.
You got to get a fake button so that way people can think that they get the right button.
I've been worried about the button thing because I go to Citizens Bank Park literally a month after. I have to go into the stadium with my button. The It's already says in the my doctor's sheets that the like alarms are gonna go off when I walk through things. I'm gonna have
Yeah,
a
get there
button.
early. Oh God!
I'm gonna have a button in my
Don't
back,
bring a
and an
backpack.
alarm's so they're gonna think I have a bomb.
Yeah, you got to get there early, man, because you're gonna have to
I'm
clear
gonna
like
have to
customs. They're gonna send you to the airport. Make sure this guy's okay. Is he a robot or what?
see a robot. Is he a
This
what
AI
is it
stuff
called?
is just
A
getting crazy.
kamikaze? A
Yeah,
kamikaze?
human kamikaze.
Human kamikaze. So I'm slightly worried about that, but
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to get like a doctor's note or something that says like this man
we
is
should get
half man,
something.
half machine, and he needs the alarm's gonna
Oh
go
my
off.
God.
But anyway, I'm gonna give a little shout out to. We already kind of did it earlier. Check out Broad Street Creations on Instagram. You can get any player shirt made. I sent one to Zach and one to Madison. I got myself this beautiful one. Um,
I'll be wearing mine tomorrow.
and of course, you can support us, and you can go to our merch store, and the link is in the description on Instagram and on Facebook. You can purchase Fanatic shirts in different colors, long sleeve, short sleeve, sweatshirts, pajama bottoms that Zach requested that we never bought.
I wanted sweatpants. I didn't say pajama bottoms.
I think there's sweatpants on there.
Yeah, I know.
Pajama bottoms, sweatpants.
Yeah.
What else is on there? Hats. Do we have hats?
The hats,
Do
yeah,
we have
hats are cool.
hats?
Yeah, we have
We
hats
have
and beanies.
hats.
Hmm.
We want to get some posters on there soon and some magnets, right, Zach? But
Yeah,
other than
some
that,
magnets, some
um,
fridge magnets.
yes. So check that out and purchase something. We have some cool stuff on there, and the hoodies are perfect. I know you're not hoodie weather at all, but
No,
come fall when you're sitting there on a chilly red October at Citizens Bank Park, you could bundle up in your Under Armour hoodie.
yes.
Um, Other than that, we're if you're watching this, that means you're on YouTube, so you already know where to find us, and we appreciate you. But make sure to like and subscribe to the podcast. We got some new viewers last one, so we appreciate you. So as always, we're going to end the podcast how we always end the podcast. Zach, do you have anything to say?
Nope. Let's go, Phillies.